Welcome back, everybody. As promised in our earlier video, we're back again, and today is May the 23rd, 2024. Beautiful Thursday afternoon. We had a night of gentle rain, and now the clouds are clearing out and the gentle breeze is blowing, and the UPS guy, pleasant surprise, showed up at 2:30 in the afternoon, which is really nice. So let's just dive right in. This is an IYV ITF 400 TRD. This is a inline style guitar with dual F-holes. Supposedly it has a maple quilted top, which is just a veneer, but I don't think it's a photo flame. Not that it would really matter. This is a guitar that I had my eye on for a while. And as with all IYV guitars, it comes in stock, it goes out of stock, it comes in stock, it goes out of stock. I'm going to try and protect my reputation as the circus weight. Just based on the box, I'm going to say that this guitar is about 6.2, 6.3 pounds. So we're going to pull it out of its shroud. By the way, this is on sale at eBay, a liquidator. And they were going for $100. How could I say no? I don't know where these guitars have been. They haven't been on Amazon for quite a while. I don't know how this guy, he ended up buying 100 of them, so he obviously got a full pallet deal. Yeah, I don't know how that works. And it makes me wonder where they're sitting. This is the old style. I don't know if there was a lawsuit, but it's the old style headstock, sort of the Fender-ish. They've got a newer model of the headstock that has more of a hook on it to avoid any complaints. And this has the blacked out F-holes. So we're going to weigh it real quick. Again, I'm guessing 6.2 pounds, and we're going to take a quick look at it. We know that IVs are famous for having some cosmetic defects. But if it plays nice and for the price, we're just going to overlook those things. So we'll be right back with a weight. Well, I guess I've lost my job at the circus. This weighs in at 5.6 pounds. So it is a featherweight, which is fine by me. Again, I play sitting down most of the time, but that is a lightweight. And just on initial inspection, it looks absolutely fine. It's interesting because some of the earlier models had double binding, but they just painted over it. This one, fret ends feel nice, which on all IYV guitars I've gotten, certainly they're not the ball-in frets, but very nice. This has a little bit of an arch on it. The flame is, or the quilting on this is actually really nice. It's very subtle. It's not overpowering. The binding on the F-holes, for the most part, looks very acceptable. Knobs feel good. Switch feels good. So we're just going to go tune it up. But, you know, initial impressions, wow. For $100, it's like, good Lord. Good times we're living in. Woohoo! But we'll see. There could be some moments to cry here. You never know. Sometimes I peek around and I see a crack or this or that, but thus far it feels really good. So we will be back. Okay, we're back again. It is May the 23rd, 2024. It's now about 10 minutes after 5 in the afternoon. I've had a little time to play and enjoy this guitar, and overall, very satisfied. It does have one issue. It might be a deal breaker. I don't know. I don't know enough about guitars to know exactly what this is. I'm going to demonstrate for you. I don't know if this is a high fret. Again, this guitar has been sitting somewhere for 3 years, so I assume because it's wood, wood has to just settle down. The neck had a little bit of forward bow. I've given the truss rod one twist, which would be a quarter of a twist. I don't like to do too much immediately. I like a guitar to sit, so to get used to its new environment. The action on the guitar seems fine. You know, there's some minor cosmetic issues that aren't even worth mentioning, so I'm not going to mention them because overall the guitar just is really nice. But here's the issue that concerns me, and again, over the last 7 years I think I've had 150 guitars go through my hand, and not a single guitar has done this. So this is under the G, it's always something. I have no idea if the camera's going to pick this up, but just listen to this sound. This is without even touching the string. This is just... And if you try and bend it, you can hear the frets are incredibly dirty, corroded. I'm lazy, I just play that off. So it doesn't do it on the high E string. Does it on the B. Does it on the 3rd string. Doesn't do it on the 4th, 5th, or 6th. But there's that sound. So I can't even really hear where it's coming from. And it sounds like it's coming from the fret. Again, these are old strings. Could it be the string? I don't know. Again, I just don't know enough to know what I don't know. I know enough to know what I don't know. What I don't know is what it is. Anyways, a couple interesting things about this guitar. Again, if my translation of the serial number is correct, and I think that IYV does do their serial numbers with, I don't know what the first number means, but I believe that the second 2 numbers of the year, and it's 21, so that'd be 2021. And I believe the next 2 numbers are the month of the year, so I'm guessing this was made in July of 2021. So again, it's been sitting somewhere for a long time. My understanding is they had an issue with Fender, that this headstock was too Fender-ish. They've since modified it on the new models with a little bit of a beak, sort of the go-to get-out-of-jail card with Fender. If you put a little beak there, they leave you alone. So, again, I don't know where this guitar's been sitting. I don't know if this is actually a veneer or a photo flame top. It's actually very nice. It doesn't seem to move. So that's pretty much the indicator that it's... Well, it does seem to move a little bit. Anyways, it's not overdone. Some of these are like really over the top. The other interesting thing is the back is so dark. At first I thought it was black, but it's just a deep, how many times can you say it, ruby red, whereas the top is much lighter. And as other people were pointing out on older models or newer models, they actually did a binding on this part of the body, but they painted over it. This one I don't see any binding, which is fine, because if you're going to paint over it, what's the point? A couple bum tuners, but they work, but they're really just, but again, you know, look, let's be real, for the price paid for this guitar, the pickups are outstanding. I have to say that I've been nothing but impressed with the Destiny CNC wound pickups. P90s, humbuckers, single coil. The bridge is actually quite stout, nice bridge, like the block saddles. They did a really good job with the ferrules, nice and straight. Some people on some of the older models said that they were a little wacky. As a guy pointed out, if you can't see them when you're playing, who cares? So overall, very satisfied. But I'm going to have to check and see what the issue is. Again, I've never had a guitar that had a high fret that affected the playability. I do have a fair idea of how to find out where the high fret is and what to do about it. And again, I'm not afraid to be a little handy. They don't have any more of these at this price, so if I send it back, it's gone, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to try and be creative and see if I can figure it out. Anyways, we probably will be back in a couple days with some more insights, maybe a solution. Maybe I'll just put new strings on and see if that helps. Maybe I'll adjust the height of that string. Maybe the string's a little low. Doesn't look like it is, but who knows. Anyways, that's all for now, but we will be back. As always, we thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Welcome back, everybody. It is now Sunday. It's June the 2nd, 2024. I've had this guitar now for about, I think 8, 9, 10 days. And I just wanted to do a final conclusion on it before I put the video together. Again, this is the IYV. Oh, I forgot the model number. Hold on. Sorry, it's the ITF 400 in transparent red or ruby red, like Dorothy's shoes. IYV has just long convoluted, they should just call this their Telecaster thin line with quilted maple top. Anyways, this guitar is fantastic. That's all I can say. It's an inexpensive guitar, clearly. Has a few very, 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 very minor cosmetic flaws. The fret ends, for the first time on any IYV guitar that I've ever gotten, were a bit sharp. So they took a little bit of time to smooth them down, but that is probably one of the most satisfying things you can do as a home enthusiast, is to get yourself a little fret file and turn a cheese grating neck experience into butter. And anybody can do it. It takes very little practice. And it really makes a huge difference. So I probably spent 15 minutes. And otherwise this thing just plays fabulous. The P90s sound great. It's got a nice ringy, airy tone to it. You'll notice the blue mark on the guitar right there. And you're asking yourself, what is that? Well, that is called a very, very, very cheap person's pickguard. The good news is it's Scotch painter's tape that has the non-sticky, leaves no residue. And since I only play this thing at home, although even if I played out, what a statement to just say, really it's about the guitar, it's about making the music. It works perfect. At some point in time, I saw one guy online who did a really, really nice job of putting a pickguard on this. Because the finish does start scratching pretty soon. That's why I popped that on there. I may not do that. I may leave this forever. Again, being a home enthusiast, judge as you wish. Nobody will ever be able to laugh at me to my face. You can laugh behind my face. But it works great. And it is a really, really, really nice looking guitar. The quilted top, I've seen some that were a little more than I would want. You can see on this that it's just a really nice subtle quilt. Yeah, very pleased with this guitar, so I'm not going to go on and on and on about it, just to say that, yeah, very pleased with it. It did have one minor issue, which I'm going to point out. Again, another cheap fix, because I'm cheap. Whoever did the nut on this guitar was a little vigorous on the B and the high E string, or excuse me, the G and the B string. There was a little bit of movement back and forth. I showed you the result earlier in the video of the pinging. So I put two little tiny pieces of paper in there. Completely solved the problem. Looks ugly. Problem solved. I didn't feel like putting a new nut in the guitar. I know that there's things that you can do to fill in the nut with super glue, and I am the king of just make it work. If it works, I'm good to go. And it works, and I'm good to go. So anyways, yeah, highly recommend this guitar. It's out of stock. It hasn't, again, this is a 2021. It was sitting somewhere for the last almost 3 years. The build date says, I believe, July. Let's look one more time. I believe the build date says it was, yes, July of 2021. So I don't know where it was sitting. Apparently this is the model that's pre-Fender spanking them and saying you have to change the headstock because the new ones have a little more of a hook on it. That's if you can even find them. IYV is a very, very odd company. Their partnership with Amazon. I have another guitar now that's going on 7 months on back order. IYV claims that Amazon won't send any orders. Amazon claims that IYV won't send any guitars. Who knows? Anyways, very happy with this guitar. So that's all. Another guitar is in the works as we speak. We won't reveal anything, but we will be back sooner than later with more activity. So thank you for joining me again. June the 2nd, 2024, beautiful late spring day. Thank you very much.